Thanks for coming today, Deanna. So why don't we get started? Why don't you tell me about yourself?
As far as my education, I've actually gone to College of the Canyons in Santa Clarita, and there I've received two AAs, one in sound arts and one also in transfer studies. And then currently I'm actually working on getting a BA in business. I'm actually taking a few classes right now as we speak. So yeah. And then as far as skills, in my opinion, I'm analytical, I'm organized, I have really good social skills between customers and networking as well. So staying, connected to people is what I do. And then as far as my jobs that I've done, I worked at Best Buy for 2 years. And then I worked at T-Mobile for 1 year and currently work at AT&T. I've been there for 6 years, going on 7 next year.
Okay, excellent. How would you describe the sales process as you currently understand it?
Well, one of the big things is you want to stay enthusiastic between all of your customers. You also want to establish the needs of the customer based on answering qualified questions with the customer. And then you want to build a unique benefit for that customer. And then you want to overcome objections and then also ask for the sale once you're done.
Okay. Is there any books that you've read recently on selling or personal development that you liked or gained something from?
Actually, yes. I just have read twice now a book called Design Yourself by Kareem Rashid. I love the book because you can actually begin to really look at the world as a glass half full, not a glass half empty. It completely changes your perspective on how you look at negative things, create it to become a positive outlook. It's actually a really interesting book.
Okay. What is your greatest strength, would you say? And then based upon that, maybe an area that you're looking on further improving upon?
Okay. One of my biggest strengths, in my opinion, is the meaningful conversations that I can actually have with people. I'm really good at listening to the customer or friend or family member and, just giving feedback. One of the examples that I actually have for that is one of the customers that I had at AT&T was actually recently going through a divorce, unfortunately. And through that, I was able to, kind of almost be like a mediator or a counselor for that customer and kind of just listen to her. And then I ended up being able to present needs through that information and then creating it as a benefit. So I was actually able to sell her TV and internet inside of her home instead of just transferring her number off of her ex-husband's account. So it's kind of a silver lining kind of scenario for myself. And then as far as one of my weaknesses is I'm not very confrontational. So when that ends up happening, sometimes whatever the problem may be may get to me, but I really try to pick my battles and then go from there.
Okay. Tell me about a job that you had that you weren't really into, that you didn't find particularly engaging or rewarding in any way. What can you say?
Actually, it was in between working between Best Buy and T-Mobile that I had this experience. Had the interview, got the job and everything. Went to a week-long training all the way down in Orange County, which I traveled to for that whole week, and ended up going into the position for 1 day and finding out they were very unethical in how they were doing business. So I ended up deciding that I wasn't, meant for that particular job, and I ended up quitting the next day. So.
What about a job that, on the contrary, you felt really motivated and excited to come to work? A good job.
You know what? Actually, currently AT&T does actually provide that for me. It keeps me motivated. Obviously, not only with our commission check, but also as far as going back to my meaningful, conversations that I have with people. I do that there as well. And I've also been recognized for several different certificates and, for my job in selling.
Okay, perfect. How do you feel about your current employer or any past employers?
I always am silver lining person, but particularly with AT&T, I feel very strongly with working with them, which is why I've actually worked there for over 6 years now. They've provided me with all the tools necessary. I've taken several additional selling classes along with that, and I've been able to grow with the company, and now I'm looking to move up in the company because they do offer those type of additional career advancements and moves. So yeah.
Okay. Um, Now I want you to do something for me. I want you to sell me something, Deanna.
Okay.
Maybe if it's something that you see in front of you or something preference. What would you
Okay.
say?
Well, I actually have my iPad right here with me. I keep it with me all the time. It's one of the things that I keep with me because I use it so heavily for my emails to stay connected to customers, as well as calendar information and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to turn it back on you. What are some of the things that you do in your everyday life with work?
I check a lot of emails, of course, whether it's clients or employees. Outside of work, just the usual web browsing, stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. You are actually exactly the type of customer that uses, something like this with the iPad. Some of the other benefits, if you do have downtime, are you can actually watch TV with it too, or TV shows or things of that nature. But in this particular case, it seems like you're a very organized person as well as me. So the calendar stuff, contacts, keeping up with your emails is very important, and all the information that's gained from your emails, and being able to immediately respond to your potential customers, potential new employees, all that kind of stuff. So you'd be actually the perfect type of person for it.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having one actually. Almost done here, Deanna. Important one. Why should I hire you?
Going back to kind of like my skills that we went over earlier, I'm very organized and analytical, and then that actually translates into how I, do my selling technique with my meaningful connections with my customers, and my enthusiasm as I'm going through the sales process. I like to keep a very upbeat attitude, always, saying the name of the customer to kind of give it that more personalized solution, so they feel like I'm actually listening to the customer. And I've actually gained a lot of repeat customers because of that. So yeah.
Well, excellent, Deanna. I appreciate everything that you've said. I like it a lot. Do you have any specific questions for me at all?
Actually, yeah. How many people are in the office currently that are at the same job level that I would be at?
We have about 25 employees right now. I'm looking to add on about roughly 6 more.
Okay.
So it's kind of an ongoing process, and we're just kind of looking at our best options right now.
Perfect. One more from me, actually. Would you actually like a list of my references from previous employers or people that I've worked with?
Yes, please. That would be fantastic,
Perfect.
actually.
And I also have that with my resume as well. So here you go.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Deanna. That concludes the interview for today.